Hello, everybody. How are you doing? It is Wednesday. We are here for day 3 of Six Figures Made Simple. Super excited to be here with you guys for another day. It's going to be amazing. I've got such juicy stuff to teach you guys today. This is actually one of my favorite parts of actually teaching this material because we are going to be diving into the 3 pieces, the 3 things that are typically missing in your marketing and your sales process that is actually the needle movers in your business. And once you get this makes taking the action steps into building and growing a 6-figure business so much more clear. You'll be so much more confident when you walk away with this. And it's just also super fun. So if you're here, let me know. I would love to see you. Would love to know that you guys can actually hear me and see me. So just pop in the comments if you would, that you're here. Say hello. Type in #live if you're live, #replay if you're watching the replay here. And we are going to dive in today. So once again, I'm Chris Williams. I am a soulful business and leadership coach. I teach women wellness entrepreneurs how to create 6-figure businesses, multiple 6-figure businesses with ease, with grace, with flow, and in a very heart-centered way, without having to give away your time in 1-hour discovery sessions. Yay, Stephanie, no problem at all. I'm so glad you're here. Yay. And in a way that feels really aligned and authentic to you. So that is a really important piece. There's a lot of people out there that are going to teach you strategy. They're going to teach you tactics. There's a lot of different ways that you get to build your business. And the important thing to remember is that you are the CEO of your business, and you get to build your business in a way that resonates and makes sense. Not only does it make sense to you, but it feels good to you. Because if you're trying to implement a strategy that doesn't feel good to you, or if it is creating fear, then it's just not going to work. It's not going to be sustainable. It's definitely not going to be profitable. Energetically, you're not going to be aligned to that which it is that you want, which is being able to really serve and nurture people. And so you get to choose. And so if I'm the person for you, I'm so glad. Welcome. We opened up the doors to Activate Abundance. We would love to serve you inside of that Business Accelerator program. And if I'm not, that's okay too. It's so good. Be here, consume the information, see if it resonates with you. Try it out. Hey, Sarah. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. We've got so many amazing women here in this community. I just truly am honored to be able to serve you guys in this way. So I'm going to share my screen with you real quick so that you guys can see the material that we're on. And let me just kind of fix my screen here a little bit. I want to make sure that I can actually see your comments today. I couldn't see the comments yesterday, and so I wasn't able to answer some of the questions that were popping in. So, all right. There's that. Let me share my screen. We are on day 3. If you need your workbook, again, go ahead to the top. Oh, Sarah says, finally, you don't have to watch the replay. Yay, I'm so glad you're here. If you still need your workbook, no problem. It's available for you. Go to the top of the Facebook page where you see the picture that says 6 Figures Made Simple. Click on that picture and it will take you to the link where you register. That is how we can deliver the workbook to you very quickly and very easily. So go ahead and grab that. And then you will have access to this workbook that you get to refer to over and over again. So paying clients, we talked about aligning, we talked about systems, we talked about a 90-day profit plan, we talked about a 90-day self-care plan. Now we're diving in. I told you yesterday that we're going to be talking about our marketing and our sales system, because without a marketing system, without a sales system or process, it becomes very difficult to actually build our business consistently. We might try something and get amazing results, but if we don't have a system that is repeatable and that we can actually put into place, then what ends up happening is that we are just kind of recreating the wheel as we're trying to go, and we're creating all of these different stuff and just kind of chasing bright, shiny objects. And so that makes things a whole lot more complicated. So we are going to be diving into your marketing system or process, as well as your sales system or process today. And there are 3 processes that we absolutely 100% until we're at well, actually, we need to be dialed in on no matter what level of income you're at. It doesn't matter if you're at $2,000. It doesn't matter if you're at $1 million. The three processes that we want to have in our business, but especially right now, until you're at six figures, is your mindset, right? So we want to make sure that you've got a daily routine in place so that you are tapped in and claiming yourself as an empowered feminine leader already as the six-figure coach that you are. And you want to be focused on your mindset. So we've got mindset, we've got marketing, and we've got sales. Mindset, marketing, and sales. Those three things are what is going to help you create the needle movers in your business, because marketing is simply helping your ideal client raise their hand, getting in front of people, being visible, shining your message out into the world, right? So another way that I like to, talk about our marketing and our sales is shining first, like getting in front of people, being visible, being the lighthouse, being the light, so that people are like, oh, I want to go there. I want to learn that, right? Sharing then information so that you can help people have an experience instead of trying to take people from stranger into buyer. We talked about the client pathway yesterday, and it's not really effective to try to take a stranger into a buyer because there's no like trust built yet. Okay. And then inviting people to work with you. So shine, share, invite. Another thing that I call it is attract, nurture, and invite. And so that's where we're going to be diving in today. So these three pieces, attract, nurture, and invite, have to be part of your system and part of your plan. Because if you are missing even one of these pieces, you are not going to be able to create income. So I'm going to explain that. Attracting a client and nurturing a client is amazing, right? So if you know who your ideal client is and you are clear on what is attracting your ideal client to you and what you can hone in on what the problem is that they're struggling with, if you can attract them and help them self-identify in your world, and if you're nurturing them and serving them, that's amazing. But if you don't invite them to work with you, you're not going to have any sales. You're not going to have any clients. That invitation piece has to happen. And we're going to talk about an easy, simple way that you can actually do that without discovery sessions. Now, another thing is if you're attracting people and then you're inviting them without the nurture piece, that's the piece that we typically are trying to take a stranger into a buyer, right? We might attract an ideal client, get their attention, and then make a premature marriage proposal, right? Like, hey, you want to work with me? And they're like, whoa, like, I don't even know if I like what it is that you're saying. I don't even know if you can help me solve my problem, right? So just attracting and inviting also doesn't work. You're missing that nurture piece. And this is probably one of the most critical pieces, because people will not invest and they will not say yes to working with you if there's no like trust there. You can also nurture the community that you have and invite people to work with you. But if you're not attracting the right client, right? If you are instead attracting the sidewalkers that don't believe that they have a problem, you're also not going to have paying clients. So you want to make sure that we've got these three pieces, but we want to attract the right client, the one that is looking for a solution to the problem that you can help them solve. We want to nurture our clients so that we can give them an experience, help them to create quick wins, help them to see how you can guide them along your pathway or your framework, and then invite them to work with you. And when you have all of those three pieces together, you're going to have paying clients. It works. It's like a recipe, right? So think about it. If you were to, try to bake something, bake a cake, you need to have some very specific ingredients. You have flour, you have sugar, you have eggs, you have baking powder, you have baking soda, you have salt, right? You need all of those ingredients in order to bake the cake. And if you're missing one of those, then the cake is not going to turn out the way that you want the cake to turn out, right? So the same thing, we want to have all of these three pieces together, and this becomes your marketing and your sales system. And so let's dive more into that piece. So I call this the nurture method because it's heart-centered marketing as well as soulful sales. So here we go. Day 3, all about, we're diving into the attract and the nurture and the invite. And all of these three things come together to create paying clients for you. So to create raving fans and paying clients, you want to serve and nurture. Serve and nurture. Another way to say this is that you want to give value and nurture your community. And one of the easiest things, and I really do, and again, if you are in the health and wellness industry and you really love to share and you love to teach and you love to serve, one of the best ways that we get to do that is through what I like to call nurture events. So hosting nurture events is a way that you get to do all three of these things in a one-to-many format. So this is a perfect example. You guys are here. You've been listening to me. I've been sharing amazing value. You guys have had golden nuggets. I've had people reaching out to me in Messenger saying, holy cow, information is amazing. Thank you so much for sharing it with me. I am serving value. And anytime you are putting value out into the world, you are always going to get that back. Money is an echo of value. Money is an echo of value, which means that the more value you put out there, the more you're serving and nurturing, it absolutely will come back to you. And that's the beauty of being able to do nurture events. We want to talk a little bit about nurture events and what types of nurture events there are. So there are a multitude of nurture events that you can do. And the key is to have guidance on which one is actually going to serve your client the best, right? So an online business like I have is a virtual, an online nurture event, right? Now, online nurture events, there are multiple types of online nurture events too, right? Like you could do a one-day event where you're doing like a masterclass for an hour or maybe a 90-minute masterclass. You could do a multiple day nurture event like I'm doing here, where I'm serving and I'm sharing and I'm giving you incredible value over the course of multiple days. Okay, so online nurture events are one that you can absolutely do. Another type of nurture event, though, is in person. And so in-person nurture events are also really, really fun. They're actually the way that I grew my six-figure health coaching practice. So nurture events in person might be something like a talk that you do, maybe with a chiropractor at a chiropractor's office or collaborating with me. I'm just giving some examples of what I've done. So, you know, I built my six-figure health coaching practice by collaborating with doctors and holistic health practitioners. And so I would go and I would do a free talk at their office, and they would share the information to their patients. And, you know, a percentage of them would come and they would hear me talk, and a percentage of those people would actually sign up to work with me in either my 6-week wellness program or my 90-day or 6-month one-on-one experience. So this is an opportunity for you to take a look at, you know, what is it that you love to do, right? Like I love to teach, and my mission is to get this information into the hands of as many people as possible. And I know that virtually is the quickest way to do that. And I get to do that in a one-to-many format. And I've got clients and people in our community from all over the world. We've got Australia, we've got New South Wales, we've got Italy, we've got Ireland, we've got Scotland, we've got the USA, we've got Canada, we've got people from all over the place. And so I absolutely adore virtual events because I can get in front of more people and get this information to more people in a quicker way. And it allows me, again, to serve in a one-to-many format, right? Discovery sessions is just a one-to-one format. So you're having a conversation, a 1-hour conversation with somebody in a one-to-one format. You're spending an hour of your time trying to convert, you know, that one person into a sale. And if they're a stranger, that's probably not gonna be the best fit. But if you have a way that you can actually serve people first, remember, serving and nurturing has to come first before you are actually hopping on a phone conversation with people, because you want these conversations to be already with people who are pre-qualified to actually say yes to working with you, which means that they need to have an experience of know, like, trust with you. That's why nurture events are so effective, because you are in a very quick way giving people an experience of you and helping them see how you can help them solve their problem. Okay, so online nurture events, in-person nurture events. In-person nurture events, again, I said you could do, you know, maybe a talk. Also, you could do retreats. Retreats are great ways to do online nurture events. You could do a VIP day. You could do a weekend. Like, there's so many ways that you could do that. The importance is that you get to choose what most resonates with you and what do you love to do, right? So what do you love to do? So pop in the chat if this is making sense, like give me a thumbs up, give me a heart. If this is making sense for a nurture event is doing a couple things. So a nurture event is going to help you attract your ideal client. How does it do that? Based on the title and the information that you want to share, right? So one of my clients, as a matter of fact, she helps women lose weight and she talks about helping people. Awesome. Thank you, Sarah. She talks about helping people lose weight, but her masterclass, her virtual event that she does, is about helping people increase the fire in their fat burning furnace, right? So that title of her event and the information that she's going to share is going to help attract the client that she can most solve, right? She's not inviting people to come in and learn how to, make homemade sourdough bread. She is talking about how to help them, lose belly fat and how to increase their fat burning furnace. So that is, valuable, it's relevant, it's congruent to what our ideal client wants. So that is going to help your ideal client who's out in your world is going to help attract them. And that does a couple things. It attracts them into your world. It also allows you to build your email list, which is amazing, right? We want to build our email list, and we're going to share a little bit more about how we do that in the rest of the day today with your nurture event. It allows you to serve and nurture people in that same event, and then it also allows you to invite people to work with you. So you've got your marketing and your sales process all in this one beautiful container, which is attracting, nurturing, and inviting. So if you want to do an online nurture event, you implement your nurture events inside of a Facebook group. And that is what I'm doing here. And so I'm modeling this here for you. Why a Facebook group? Because your Facebook group is filled with just your most ideal client. It's not here for your mom or your dad or your cousins or your high school friends or even your college friends. A Facebook group is where you get to cultivate and build a community of people that want a solution to the problem that you can help them solve. Right? So the abundant, empowered, or aligned, empowered, and prosperous female entrepreneur group is for just that. This is a very specific community here for feminine. Oh my gosh, I'm totally stumbling over my words today. For feminine wellness entrepreneurs, coaches who are in the wellness field, coaches, life coaches, health coaches, holistic practitioners, nutritional therapists, herbalists, right? Who want to be a part of a community and want to learn how to build a six-figure business. I'm not teaching, how to, build out fancy funnels. I'm not teaching how to make amazing Carolina barbecue. I'm not teaching how to make meals in 30 minutes or less, right? This Facebook group is very, very specific. And so you want to have that for your community too, so that you can, again, attract people into your world, right? Have a place for people to land. Even if you love doing in-person events, you want to still have a Facebook group where people can land. Why? Because they are going to have a greater experience of you and more opportunity for you to build know, like, trust with people online in a Facebook group rather than just an in-person event. So I'm not saying don't do in-person events. I'm saying if you love doing in-person events, amazing, do them, but also bring people into a Facebook group so that you have a way to continue to serve and nurture them. Otherwise, you don't have a way for them to actually have an experience of you, right? You might have their email on your email list. And so of course you can nurture them in email, which is something that we absolutely want to do with our community and our people. But you want them also to be able to see you and hear you and have an experience. So even if you've got an Instagram account that you're on, or if you're on LinkedIn or, any of those other things, amazing. But Facebook does Facebook groups the best. This is something that we know Facebook works. We know that there's lots of people here. We know that your ideal client is here. And so this is one of the easiest ways to cultivate a community, grow a community of amazing people who are looking for what it is that you offer, and have an opportunity to serve them really, really powerfully, put value in the value bank, and then invite people to work with you. So you want to invite participants to your event by creating a registration page for people to give you their name and their email so that they can access your nurture event. This is how you can also build your email list, right? So regardless of whether anybody says yes or no to working with you, this is still an opportunity for you to bring them into your world, to have them on your email list so that you can continue to let them know of opportunities on how you can serve and nurture them, right? And especially if you have a nurture event that you like to put on repeat, and that is what I encourage, that we do a nurture event where that you can put on repeat so that you learn how to hone and master it, right? Just doing something once, you're not a master at. We want to do the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, because then we hone it, we master it. We're really clear about the value that we're delivering. We can actually see and deliver or make these, 1% tweaks or pivots on helping people get even more value. So you want to invite participants to your event by creating a registration page for people so they can give you their name and email address, and that is going to help you build your email list. You also want to create a simple workbook for participants to use while taking notes during your event. So this workbook here was designed for that. Why is a workbook important? Well, look, it's not a deal breaker. So if you don't want to do workbooks, or if you don't have to, right? But here's why I love workbooks. I love workbooks for a couple of reasons. One is a very selfish reason. It actually helps me stay on track. And it helps me to follow what it is that I want to teach without having to memorize exactly what it is that I want to say, right? So I don't have to worry about, oh my God, am I going to miss something? And I can totally fully be present here, and I can follow the outline of my workbook. And that makes it so much easier to just show up and just be me authentically and not worry about, oh my gosh, I might miss the thing and I have to memorize this thing. And nope, I like pressing the easy button. And so this is an easy button for me. The other thing that workbooks do is it gives incredible information and allows people to be interactive with your event, right? So those of you that are here, that are filling in the blanks here, when you write something down, you're actually learning it better. When you're writing things down, you're learning it better, which means that the value that you're getting from this event today is a whole lot more than if I was just speaking to you without you having to write it down. So I am helping you actually more. You guys don't even know it, right? But I'm helping you actually learn more of the information that I'm sharing today by giving you a workbook so that you can actually use a different part of your brain when you're writing it down. And then the third reason why I really like it is because it's so super valuable. You can return to this workbook over and over and over and over again. And so there is added value here in addition to the value of the information. Awesome. So you also want to drive registrants to your Facebook group where the launch will take place. So if you remember, when you signed up, when you registered for this event, you were given a welcome email that said, hey, you're in. I'm so excited to have you here. And don't forget to join the Facebook group where all the magic is happening. Why do we want to have a Facebook group, and why do we want to do it in a Facebook group versus just a pop-up group or just on your personal page? Because again, this is where your most ideal client is, where you can serve the most people, and it creates value and it creates engagement. Yeah, Sarah said using as many of our senses to reinforce our learning. Absolutely. It's seeing visually, it's hearing, it's writing, right? So all of these are different senses that are going to help us with the learning. And so when we provide that for our clients, they're getting incredible value for free, because this is a free nurture event. Okay, so we want to join them. And I think I mentioned earlier why we actually want to do Facebook groups, because Facebook does Facebook groups the best. But the other reason why I do it inside of my main Facebook group here versus just a pop-up group, and I've done it both ways, I like this way the best, because even if you didn't register, you're getting amazing information. So everybody here in my community has an opportunity to take advantage of this value, regardless of whether they registered or not. So the registration is simply a vehicle to allow people to get the workbook, and also to allow them to, come into my community, be on the email list. But if they didn't know, or if they didn't see the invitation, or they didn't notice the photo and they didn't register, when you're teaching inside of your own Facebook group, it gives people an opportunity to be like, oh, wait, I want the workbook. I want the information. And so it allows everybody to have access to the information, not just the 100 or 150 or 200 people that actually registered for your event. And then remember that this is nurture events, whether you're doing them in person or online, are part of the client pathway that we talked about yesterday to help your audience say yes to your offer. This is what builds know, like, trust. So remember, it's attracting your most ideal client. It gives you an opportunity to nurture them by giving them incredible value and an opportunity for you to invite people into your offer to work with you in a one-to-many format, which is another way that you get to scale your business. So I love it and I love teaching it, and it absolutely works. It's a proven process. You may see many people doing master classes or workshops or events. And why are many people doing it? Because it builds know, like, trust quickly. It allows you to serve really valuably. I know one of my coaches, like, she doesn't even, like, she does her nurture event, and many of you may know Liz, and she doesn't hop in the DM. She doesn't do sales calls. It's just like value, value, value. And then it gives people an opportunity to work with her. So it really just makes this long 1 hour discovery session irrelevant, which is actually a relief. So instead of trying to convince or persuade somebody in a 1 hour discovery session, we can just invite somebody into an information call like I've done for you. If you are interested in joining us inside of Activate Abundance, and we do have a few spots left, you can simply just book a clarity call with me, which is an information call. It's 15-20 minutes where I will share with you, more about Activate Abundance. And if you have questions about it, or if you want to know whether it's a good fit for you, you've already seen some of the information that I teach here. I will be going more in depth with you on exactly how to implement these pieces. So you've got a couple choices in creating six figures made simple. And I want to share with you what those next steps are for you. And, look, we all have choices. So I want to share with you, some of your options here. You can absolutely take this information that you've learned here and you can try to implement it on your own. Absolutely, you can do that. What I find is that you don't know what you don't know. And when you try to take a whole bunch of information on its own, you bump up against challenges or obstacles, and you're not really sure how to navigate them. And so you become confused and chasing another bright, shiny object, and you never actually implement in a way that is actually effective. You can go buy a book on how to get to six figures, right? You can download another DIY course on building your business to six figures. You can absolutely join us inside of Activate Abundance, where you have support. You've got accountability. You've got a community that's working with you. You're surrounding yourself with women who are doing the work with you, that are inspiring you to continue to grow, to be that empowered six-figure coach that you already are. As a matter of fact, I just got off 2 calls today, one with my Activate group, one with my Activate 2 group, and they are so excited about being in community with each other because they learn so much from each other. They get new ideas, they get new insights, they get new inspiration. So super, super awesome. And, the fifth thing that you can do is you can go find another business coach. But my suggestion is that you decide to find some sort of mentorship. If I'm for you, I would love to serve you in this way. If I'm not for you, that's okay. If you want to learn something else, if you want to learn how to build online courses, great. Go find a coach that can teach you that. If you want to learn how to build out fancy funnels, awesome. You get to do that too. You get to choose. You're the CEO in your business. And so your next step is about making a choice. It's about making a decision. It's about getting off the fence, because when you're sitting on the fence and you're not taking the actions to build your business, you are not serving people and you're not making income in your business. So there comes a point where you have to decide. You have to decide what you're going to do next. You have to decide, are you going to stay on the fence and do nothing, which you have an option of doing for sure. You can hop down off the fence and you can go get support from a mentor and, join us inside of Activate Abundance, where you get the support, the accountability, and a proven system. Or you can go find the support that you need in another way. There are multiple things, but you have to make a decision. You have to make a decision. So here's what I want to invite you. I want you to ask yourself, what action will you take in the next 24 hours? Knowledge and information does not equal transformation. Knowledge and information does not equal transformation. You could easily Google how to get to six figures. There's a reason why you're not there yet. And your chances are you are missing one of these steps. And I want you to ask yourself, which piece are you missing? Are you missing the attraction piece? Are you missing the nurture piece? Are you missing the invitation piece? And if you're missing even just one of those, I really want to invite you into Activate Abundance with me. And if you have already gone through Activate Abundance and you're alumni, I see some of my alumni here. I'm so excited to have you. You absolutely get to join us again into our alumni program. And if you're brand new to Activate Abundance and brand new to my work, then there is no harm in just hopping on an information call. I promise I will hear where you are, what your vision is, what is it that you want to create, where are you in your business? And if I feel like Activate Abundance can help you, I'll share that with you. And if I don't feel like it'll help you, I will find out exactly what it is that you want and I'll help you get that, okay? So here's an important question that I want you to ask yourself. What decision would the future version of you who is already creating six figures do about filling in these missing pieces? What would she do? If she's already making six figures, what would she do? And I want you to also ask yourself, what are you willing to do? What are you willing to do? Because the truth is, it's not about whether you can or you can't. It's about what are you willing to do? Are you willing to allow yourself to have support and mentorship? Are you willing to implement a proven process? Are you willing to be bold and serve and nurture your clients so that they can get incredible value? What would this future version of you who's already at six figures doing? And this is something that I ask myself too. Like anytime I am trying to make a decision around, in making an investment, there's a couple things that I ask myself. And, the questions are, what is the long-term return on investment for me? If I invest in this program, what is the return on investment long-term? Not just during the time that I'm in it, but long-term. And so one of the things that I know is that over the course of the next year, all of the information that you're going to learn is not only going to help you get to six figures, but it will help you also get to multiple six figures and even seven figures if that's where you want to go. Okay, it is a simple, repeatable process that you get to put on repeat with support and mentorship and a community so that you know what to do, how to do it, what steps to take, and what order to take them so that you can actually create paying clients. Okay, so what is the return on investment? Another question that I ask myself is, how long will it take me to get the return on investment, right? And I have people that are like, okay, well, how long before I start making six figures? That really is all dependent on what your programs are, what your pricing is, and if you actually implement the pieces. So it really just depends. So the answer to that is it depends. I know that if you see yourself bringing in, even just, let's see, 4 clients over the course of the year at your high-end offer, you would have gotten all of the return on investment back and still have access to this information for a lifetime to know how to actually do it again and again and again and again. And then the last question that I ask myself is, what's the cost if I don't? What's the cost if I don't? A lot of times we ask ourselves, what's the cost or the investment if I do? But what's the cost if you don't? What is the cost to your dream and your vision if you stay sitting on the fence and you don't take action? What is the cost to your business and your dream and the potential clients that you were meant to serve if you don't have a simple pathway to serve, to nurture, to attract your ideal client, a simple way that you can nurture your audience and invite people to work with you in a one-to-many format? What is it costing you if you don't have support and mentorship? So if the answer to these is that you absolutely are a hell yes, I would love, again, to serve you inside of Activate Abundance. You can take $2,000 off the investment. I will post the information page at the link below here. You can take a look at it. There's no harm. Click on the link, take a look at it, and you can take $2,000 off until midnight. You also have access to all of the guest experts that I shared about yesterday. Plus, we're going to be doing another Cash Infusion Boot Camp coming up in January. You will have access to that. We're going to be doing a branding with archetypes session, which typically I charge $1,000 for. This is a special 4-hour VIP experience. That is your bonus. And you also get a fast track strategy session with me where you and I hop on the phone and we get going right away. So you have my eyes, my ears, my brain, my heart on your business right away. So thank you for being here for today. I am going to be popping in again tomorrow. We're going to be doing a bonus Q&A question, questions and answers on anything that I've covered so far. You're going to get free laser coaching. And I'm also going to share with you bonus information on converting. So come back tomorrow. Again, if you want this information, if you don't have your workbook, go ahead to the top of the page, click on the link above so that you can grab your workbook. And I will see you guys back here for our final day tomorrow at 4:00 p.m. Eastern time. And again, I will put the link so that you can learn more about Activate Abundance, as well as book an information call with me. I cannot wait to see you. Okay, bye.